The 2017 John Mulholland Ulster Rally is based in Derry this year, and in this programme we'll be looking at the classes outside of the international field, which include the Nationals or Modifieds, Group N, R2, Historic and Junior classes.
Here we are in Derry City for the penultimate round of the Clonakilty Black Pudding Irish Tarmac Championship, the John Mulholland Ulster Rally. And in this programme we'll be bringing you all the best of the action from the R2, the Modified and the Group N class.
At the head of affairs in the National Series is the Toyota Corolla of Kevin Eves. Eves had taken wins in West Cork and on the Rally of the Lakes, and the second place in the opening round in Galway. Eves was therefore in prime position to take another haul of points in the last round in Donegal before a big off halted his progress and necessitated a trip to hospital. Thankfully there was no lasting damage, and Eves is back looking to defend his class lead.
Fighting fit again, Kevin.
Yeah, we're back in action. Hey, foot's all better, so we give it another go.
You very much have to protect your championship lead this weekend.
Yeah, definitely. Hey, it's still very close, but you could go out trying to go easy out there, and it's going to be that mucky and slippy. It could just make a mess of the whole thing.
And Eves rolls off the ramp in preparation for the first of 6 stages on day one, with a further 8 to follow on the second day of action on this year's Ulster Rally. In the R2 or two-wheel drive category, William Crichton, James Wilson and Marty Gallagher will all be looking to take advantage of Andrew Burke's absence. There's only 8 points separating the top 4 drivers, so it promises to be a fantastic battle in the class on this year's Ulster Rally.
How are you feeling about these stages today?
Yeah, we did the rally last year, and sort of Ulster Rally's notorious for being quite mucky and slippy, and I think that's definitely what we're going to get today and tomorrow. So hopefully we'll have a clean run and we'll do our best.
It's been very competitive all year. Unfortunately, we didn't have a finish there in Donegal, but we're here this weekend just to try and prove ourselves against the rest of the British Championship boys.
A really fantastic prize up for grabs this year, Marty.
Yeah, it's a free entry in the Rally Condors in November. So you'll be against all the top European boys as well, so good eye-opener and see how far we're away here.
And so the cars and crews head out for the stages on a damp day in Derry, with the threat of a lot of mud being thrown onto the stage by the competitors. And first we see is Alan Carmichael in the McGeehan World Rally Mini, who is fastest amongst the early runners despite a spin and a stall on stage 2. Carmichael was the winner of the 2016 national category in Ulster, and despite the inclement conditions on the opening 3 stages, he put in some decent times, describing the World Rally Spec Mini as awesome. Ivor Lamont is the navigator.
One left, met over absolute crest, 80, one right, 40, 2 right at the tree, crest jump, watch this one, 2 right at the tree, crest jump, 40 over dip, 5 left, 5 left, don't cut 4 right, 40.
Camilla Bradley from Draperstown and co-driver Crawford Henderson were second in the Nationals after the opening 3 stages in the Mark II Escort. Bradley is not, however, registered for the National Championship this year and was therefore looking for a standalone win in the Modifieds.
Great to have made it to the first 3 group anyway, Camillus.
Yeah, it's definitely very, very tough. First 2 stages there. Second stage, a lot of muck. We're lucky enough to get here with 3 or 4 wee scares where we could have been off the road, but lucky enough to hang on and get here, so we'll just have to keep at it.
Eugene Megan in his BMW was a further 7 seconds behind Bradley after the opening stages. He held on to 3rd place in the Nationals despite a stall and 2 spins in the tricky conditions.
Yeah, it was tough. The last 2 weren't too bad, you know, at least it stopped raining, so no, it's tough conditions.
Kevin Eves was next up in his Corolla back after his accident in Donegal, but he was no match for the power of Carmichael's Mini. Eves had some power steering issues as well, and at the end of 3 stages, Eves was 1 minute and 15 seconds off Carmichael and 14 seconds down from Megan. Paul Britton lost some time when his Group N Impreza suffered from steamed up windows in the opening 3 stages. Not exactly what was needed from the Strabane driver and his Ballyclare co-driver George Tinsley. The pair were 5th after the opening 3 stages. Stephen Baxter and Johnny Drinsmore were 6th after the opening 3 tests in their Ford Escort, and just a half a second separated the pair from Britain in 5th.
Here, fell over crest, black, crest 100. 100, crest, one left, long. 60 over bumps, one right, 60 over crest, 2 right past 3.
Wayne Sisson and Peter Foy were 7th in the Nationals in their Mitsubishi Lancer Evo 10. The conditions were, as we see, pretty difficult for the pair on the opening loop. Leading the Group N showroom class after 3 stages was the Mitsubishi Lancer Evo 9, driven by William Mavety, leading the similar machine of Gavin Kelly and Eamon Gillespie. Kelly, like a lot of drivers this weekend, found that tyre choice was difficult. After 3 stages in the R2 two-wheel drive category, James Wilson and Gavin Doherty were 4th in their Peugeot 208. Marty Gallagher and Dean O'Sullivan were 3rd after the opening loop in the R2 class in their 208, over 30 seconds ahead of James Wilson. 2nd, William Crichton and Liam Regan in another 208. Callum Devine and co-driver Keith Moriarty had a bit of a moment on the 2nd stage in their Opel Adam and lost a bit of confidence as Crichton closed the gap a little, but the pair held on to their lead in R2 after 3.
Watch your 4 left over crest jump into a long 4 right. Watch this, back on it. Into 6 left. Into a care, 6 right over crest, into a 4 left over crest. Don't into a fast 4 right. Don't in this 4 left. Fast 4 right now, and 6 right over crest jump 60. Big back off rear left on crest jumps. Watch them, and 4 right down.
Callum, everything running to plan so far?
Yeah, not too bad. No dramas. William behind us is right in our heels, so yeah, it's gonna be a long weekend, I'd say, between us 2 guys.
Alan Carmichael in the Mini World Rally car continued to lead the national section after the opening 4 stages as the testing wet conditions continued throughout the opening day. However, he punctured a tyre on stage 5. As it was a front wheel, he opted to stop and change it as he was wary of damaging the car. And as a result, he lost the lead of the nationals and slipped from 1st to 14th in the standings after 6 stages.
You did hold the lead of the national at one point.
Yeah, we got a flat wheel on the 5th stage and I pulled over and changed it. I shouldn't have done it, but I was scared to damage the car, you know, so pulled over and changed it and lost 6 minutes. So hopefully we can get back up there again, you know.
Carmichael's travails allowed Camillus Bradley to move into the lead of the Nationals in his Ford Escort as he began to master the difficult conditions. After the opening 6 tests, his Escort had a 21.8 second lead. Second now, and the leading championship runner was the BMW of Eugene Megan, who hails from County Meath, along with his co-driver Darren Mullen. Kevin Eves was looking for a haul of championship points in the Toyota Corolla after his non-finish in Donegal. He was 3rd after 6 stages, but only 0.4 of a second off Megan. 4th now, Wayne Sisson in the Mitsubishi Lancer Evo 10, 15 seconds off Eves and 47 seconds off the national lead held by Bradley. And the top 5 was completed by Paul Britton in the Subaru Impreza, despite going straight on at a tight left-hander on the 2nd loop of stages. Britton carried just too much speed and never made the corner, instead hitting the tapes on the escape road. But a quick reverse, and the Impreza was on its way again. In Group N, William Mabberty continued to lead in the Lancer, along with co-driver Martin Connolly. The pair were actually 12th on the overall standings as well as the Group N leaders. Just shy of 8 seconds in arrears in Group N were Gavin Kelly and Eamon Gillespie in their Lancer. Ahead of the second day's action, it was all to play for in their class. In the R2 two-wheel drive category, Callum Devine was flying in his Opel Adam.
Right, okay, and care, long, 6 right, continues for 100 over crest, tight to a 4 right at the sign, what's the sign, 130 over bumps, to a 6 left over jump, to 150 over bumps, to a 2 right over gate, 2 right to the gate here, and a short 4 right.
However, a puncture meant that Devine was denied taking the overall lead in the class at the end of the opening day. William Crichton's grip on the lead slipped slightly with an overshoot and an untidy stage 6, but he held a 21.3 second overnight lead in the Peugeot 208. Marty Gallagher was third in the category, 1 minute and 16 seconds down on the leader, but he was struggling with his Peugeot's gearbox as it moved up and down the cogs of its own accord. But he would make it to day 2. Coming into the R2 picture now was James Wilson in his Peugeot. The Keeley man had Gavin Doherty on the notes. He was over 2 minutes though off Crichton. In the historics, Barry Jones and Ian Griffiths held the lead after the opening 6 stages by 33.3 seconds. Second in the historics, the escort of Keith McIver along with David Burns in the Ford Escort, with Stanley Orr and Stephen McCauley in a close third place. But a lot of attention in the class centred on the legendary Jimmy McRae, the Ulster winner in 81, 86 and 88, while his late son Colin won it in 1992. He was fourth after day 1 in the Vauxhall Forenza.
Impressive to watch, Jimmy. I'm sure you're having a workout in that car today.
Yeah, no, it's very tricky and it's not the easiest car to drive in these stages, but we're still here and a lot of people know it. It's always a challenge, this rally, and it hasn't changed in all these years.
So the picture, the top 5 then at the end of day 1 in the national category. Camillus Bradley leads ahead of Eugene Megan and Kevin Eves, with Wayne Sisson in 4th place ahead of Paul Britton in 5th. Join us again after this break. Welcome back. It is day 2 of the Ulster Rally as we look forward to the remaining stages for the class outside of the international competitors on this year's event. This is a recap then of day 1. The overnight top 3, Camillus Bradley led from Eugene Megan with championship leader Kevin Eves in 3rd place.
Obviously important decisions being made here.
Yeah, no, tyres is going to be the big one now because we have that big 30 with 3 stages now and a big 30k stage, so it's easy enough to pick a tyre that'll suit the 2 shorter stages, but then you're going to melt tyres off on the longer ones, so we'll see.
And so to the action on the roads in the remaining 8 stages, and we pick up the action over stages 7, 8, 9 and 10. Camillus Bradley and Crawford Henderson looked unassailable on day 1. The picture began to change on day 2's opening 4 stages as their overnight lead of 21 seconds was cut to just 1 second. And breathing down their necks now was the Toyota Corolla of Kevin Eves. The 2017 National Championship points leader was over 22 seconds down on Bradley overnight. But with 4 stages to go now, the gap was just down to a second. Slipping from 2nd to 3rd after 9 stages was the BMW of Eugene Megan. And there his Ulster Rally would end as he crashed out of the event on stage 10. A sad end to Megan's rally as he ended up backwards in a ditch. Thankfully, he and co-driver Darren Mullen were none the worse for their off. 3rd after 10 now were Wayne Sisson and Peter Foy in the Mitsubishi Lancer Evo 10. They were 56.8 seconds off Bradley's lead in the national category. Wasn't easy though on the muddy roads. Having led the national class early on day 1, a puncture dropped Alan Carmichael down to 14th at one point before he began to climb his way back up the leaderboard. However, it wasn't easy out there for the World Rally Spec Mini driver in the slippery conditions. They were now back to 4th though in the standings after 10 stages. Paul Britton was 5th after 9 stages in the Mitsubishi, but like Megan, he saw his rally end on stage 10 when his gearbox finally gave up the ghost. Stephen Baxter and Johnny Drinsmore developed mechanical problems on the last stage of day 1, and they persisted to stage 7 before they finally withdrew their escort. This particular right-hander caught out a lot of drivers on day 2, including the R2 leader William Crichton. However, despite losing some time, he was able to get the car going again, and after 10 he led by 28.8 seconds in the class. Callum Devine and Keith Moriarty were second in the Opel Adam at one stage, but they retired with alternator failure after special stage 10. While Marty Gallagher and Dean O'Sullivan retired their 208 with mechanical trouble on special stage 8. There was a good old battle between the top two in Group N. After 10 stages, William Mavety held a 3-second lead in the class with 4 stages remaining from the Mitsubishi of Gavin Kelly.
Well, it's all to play for now, Gavin.
It's all to play for now, yeah. We're down at 3 seconds, so if we behave ourselves now, we should try and tighten up a wee bit more and get past them.
We lost a bit of time in there on that loop, so we're down to 3 seconds now. We need to get on the slicks and start from day one again now and push as hard as we can.
Moving on to the junior category, which joined the Ulster Rally on day 2. And here's the junior leader, Jenna McCann, in the last round in Donegal. She was leading the class going into the penultimate round and has third place driver John McCabe on the notes for Ulster.
3, 2, 1 and go. 80, crest into 3 left.
The junior class competed over special stages 7 to 14 inclusive on the second day. McCann slotted into third place after the opening 4 stages of the junior category.
And crest dip. 3 right here, crest dip, come back, crest jump. It's okay though, keep it in her, keep it in her, keep it in her. 1 right. That's it, good. The crest, 130 down the middle over bumps, and a 3 left. That's it, keep it in her. 3 left now here. Only 45 right, don't cut.
Second after 4 of the 8 stages, Justin Ryan in the Honda Civic, who was second in the championship ahead of the Ulster round.
We're out in a new car. It's a hired car for this weekend, so yeah, we're learning it, and it's a steep learning curve up here because all the muck and stuff, but really enjoying it, having a good battle with Jenna. I think we're ahead of her at the moment, so that's good for our championship, but trying to keep things alive. She's ahead of us in the championship, so all good.
The leader in the juniors with 4 stages to go, Jason Black and co-driver Jack McKenna in the Toyota Starlet.
And 3 left over crest past the shed, 80, and 4 left up past junction, 40, and 3 right in over crest jump, 60, black crest and caution, long 2 right over crest jumps. And
Jason, a fantastic productive drive so far, and you've taken the lead in the class.
Yeah, very happy how we're getting on so far. It's very tricky out there. There's changeable conditions and a lot of rain that last one, so just thankful to be here.
So 4 stages to go then for the various classes in this year's Ulster Rally. Even at service, the conditions were difficult for the service crews, with showers punctuating the final day's action. Tyre choice for the national category leader was now crucial.
It's really crucial on the leg of this, on the escort, because you're trying to get power down the road all the time, so you pick the wrong tyre on the back, then you're spinning and slipping everywhere.
One of the regulars on the Ulster is the veteran Desi Nutt. Nutt and co-driver Geraldine McBride are a long-standing pairing on the Irish rally scene and have taken many historic victories. Indeed, they won the 2009 British Historic Rally Championship.
Those last group of stages, there was an awful lot of people, unfortunately, have slid off the road. Doesn't look like they're going to get back on again, so we're just happy to be here.
Well, the Ulster Rally has certainly offered you a challenge, John.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Trying to tame this beast on the narrow, bumpy, slippy roads that we've had over the past 2 days, just pretty difficult task, but it's been good fun.
Indeed, it was a good weekend for John Coyne, who won Class A2 in the Porsche 997. Class B1 was led by Art McCarrick and John Mackay before they crashed out in dramatic fashion.
And jump, 100 over the bumps, slow crest, and a short 3 right over the bridge, and 6 left. Oh, you... No! No! Oh no! Are you all right? Yeah. Are you okay? Yeah.
So victory instead in the class went to Michael and David Nutt in the Honda Civic. Class 2B winners, William Heron and Jeff Patterson in their Mitsubishi Lancer. Class B3, Brian Black and Ian Crozier in their Toyota Starlet. Class B5 winners, Michael McDade and Dara McGuire in their Ford Escort. Moving on to Historics, and in Historics H2, the winner, Keith McIver, along with David Burns in the Ford Escort. The top 5 in historic H1. 5th place, Lights Ablaze, Niall Crichton and Gregory Roberts in their Ford Cortina. 4th, Desi Nuts and Geraldine McBride in the Porsche 911. 3rd, the legendary Jimmy McRae and Pauline Gullick in the Vauxhall Firenze. 2nd in historic, Stanley Orr and Stephen McCauley in the Ford Escort. With the winner, Barry Jones and Ian Griffiths in the Ford Escort.
Another class win, Barry. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. It's been a good weekend, really. We had a difficult start yesterday morning with the conditions, and we were too cautious, but I'm happy.
In the juniors, first place went to Jason Black and Jack McKenna in the Toyota Starlet. 3rd, Jenna McCann and John McCabe in their R2 Ford Fiesta. And squeezed in between, Justin Ryan, the top registered junior driver, in 2nd.
In the last 2 stages, I had to be on the door handles to keep her at bay and, to bring the championship down to the last round, which is what I came here to do. So it's been a great day, and in fairness, a great battle as always with Jenna.
We had a great battle today, myself and Justin. It was neck and neck, really. We tried to make a comeback on the second loop. The stages were a bit drier, so we were trying to take advantage, but just wasn't enough today, unfortunately. But we're happy enough.
In Group N, 2nd, Gavin Kelly and Eamon Gillespie in the Mitsubishi Lancer. A real battle with the other Lancer of William Maverty and Martin Connolly. In the end, just 2.9 seconds separated the top 2 in the Group N showroom category after 14 stages.
It was tough going now. It was right down to the wire. We were 0.9 of a second going on to the last stage, and it was all flat out. Absolutely brains in the boot to try and get the win, but we took 2 seconds on Gavin on that last stage, so we won by 2.9, and it was very enjoyable.
In the two-wheel drive R2 class, 3rd was Oscar Solberg, the son of Henning, nephew of Petter, in his Ford Fiesta. 2nd, James Wilson and Gavin Doherty in the Peugeot 208. And convincing R2 winners, and 10th overall in the international class, William Crichton and Liam Regan in the Peugeot 208.
Well, leaving Ulster with some lovely silverware today.
Yeah, it's great. Glad to get the win. It was a really tricky rally, so definitely happy to come away with maximum points.
And so to the top 6 in the national class. In 6th, Oren Donnelly and Paul Hughes in the Escort. 5th, Barry Groundwater and Sean Donnelly in the Mitsubishi Lancer. 4th, Wayne Sisson and Peter Foy in another Lancer. Alan Carmichael and Ivor Lamont in their Mini made a gallant effort to recapture the time they lost with a puncture, but they had to be content with 3rd. 2nd, Kevin Eves and William Lynch in the Corolla, and that was enough to earn them the championship in the modified category. The winner, Camilla Spradley and Crawford Henderson. They put a massive push on through the final couple of stages to claim the national win by 18.1 seconds. As we caught up with the new Irish Tarmac modified champion.
What does it mean to take this championship win?
Yeah, no, that was everything we aimed for at the start of the year, hey, so it's great to finally get a bit of luck and be standing here now, so happy out.
This the top 5 then in the national category in this year's Ulster Rally. The winner, Camilla Bradley, ahead of Kevin Eves, the new champion. Alan Carmichael up from 14th to 3rd, ahead of Wayne Sisson in 4th, and Barry Groundwater making up the top 5.
We saw fantastic battles in the modified classes today, and it might just be the last one of the year for Kevin Eves after his disappointment in Donegal. He has secured the national title in the Irish Tarmac Championship today. The rest of the battles will continue in the final round of this championship in Cork in a few weeks' time. See you then.